I am Kenya Burns,
And I am Shaquille Ashadi.
and this is the first episode of Lovanomics. So, how are you?
I'm good, baby. How are you?
I'm well. I think that the people have been asking and asking, and they want to know who Mr. Ashadi is.
Oh,
I think this is the perfect platform to let them know who Mr. Ashadi is. What you think?
of course it is. Of course it
I
is.
guess we were too busy to kind of film, so I think today is a perfect day to kind of recap. What you think?
Amazing. It's always amazing. Well, you're amazing. So
That's
you always
so
bring the
sweet.
best out of me. So
Oh wow, that's very sweet, very kind of you to say.
mhm.
I think you're a pretty amazing man yourself.
Thank you.
Yeah, I truly do. You know, your stock gonna go up now because you know, on here with me. So, just,
Better than my birthday. Better than my birthday. Better than my birthday.
let's get into this Valentine's Day thing because you tricked me.
Did I?
You said that well, according to your faith and what you believe, you really don't celebrate holidays and man-made holidays and
Well, I wouldn't say it's based on my faith, because within my tradition, we also have traditions in which we celebrate. So we respect other people's traditions. It's just that we don't hold other certain traditions, to where we celebrate them or we participate in them like that. But we also acknowledge them, especially if our loved ones acknowledge them in their celebration.
how do you think that or I guess the origin of where that come from? Do you think, and I promise I won't go too far off into a faith conversation because we can go, when we have our conversations.
Of course.
But I just want to say, in terms of the celebrating holidays, do they kind of compare that to maybe idolatry or paganism or things
Paganism.
like that?
Yeah.
Okay, so I can understand the logic behind it.
Yeah, well, that's
You know.
rules based in probably any religion, from Judaism all the way to Islam,
Got it.
Christianity, Catholicism.
Got it. Well, let's get into it. So, traditionally or having your perspective of what you feel about holidays, you still went out and celebrated Valentine's Day and bought me all those gifts.
That's what I do. I show up and show out.
You know what? Mr. Ashadi.
That's what I'm supposed to do. It's the thing to where it's basically, you see right here, how you display your affection through laughter, through joy, through smiles. I love seeing you smile. I love putting a smile on your face. So that right there is my gift within itself.
Well, that's sweet. Well, that makes two of us because I love putting a smile on your face too. So I think that's what makes our relationship unique and the dynamics of our relationship, because I'm always aiming to please you, and I think you're always aiming to please me. And I think when two people are aiming to please one another and there's no selfishness and everyone's selfless, it brews up something dynamic. It does.
Cool.
So yeah. So the salon obviously was crazy yesterday, talking about Valentine's Day. I mean, everyone got flowers, everyone got candy, balloons. I mean, it was so much love in the air. We actually hosted kind of like a little Valentine Day kind of give back to the clients, where we gave mimosas and chocolates and sweets just to let them know we appreciate them. You saw how it went down. What do you think about that?
Beautiful thing. Beautiful thing. I mean, it's a lot of ladies that work there, even gentlemen. I don't know what the gentlemen got, because I don't know how Valentine's Day actually segued into
For men.
for men and, our perspective on them. But I know men, we go out of our way, or we should go out of our way.
Yeah, say that, because everyone doesn't. Everyone doesn't.
Well, it's a learned thing. I think every man needs to learn to actually take care of their wives, their girlfriends, their loved one, their significant other.
Yeah, I think one thing I think is that every woman probably requires something different.
Of course.
I think every woman requires something different. So when you talk about romance and the dynamics of a relationship, every woman is different. So there are different dynamics with women. And I think it's a man's job to kind of explore what his woman, her desires, and what she look for in a man. What you think?
Of course. But that's when the open lines of communication actually comes in. A man is supposed to know how to communicate and at the same time pick up vibes on how he should actually treat, protect, and at the same time show a lot of affection. I love
you said that. You really
well,
said
affection
that.
Affection is what drives romance and drives a relationship.
I agree.
So if we don't know how to show or dispense with affection, then how will we know what it is that our loved one or our significant other wants or needs?
Yeah, I think it takes a lot of just observing and exploring, and you have to study that person. You have to really be in tune with
book.
that person. I don't know about a book. I mean, some women are a walking book.
Well, I think every man should actually read The Anatomy of a Woman.
Really?
Yeah, because it's a lot of details with a woman. If from a sensitive perspective to emotional perspective, to actually on how we are supposed to actually cater to her during times in which she goes through, hey, let's just say her monthly.
I knew that was coming. How do you deal with me during that time?
I deal with you the way that I'm properly supposed to deal with you. I turn around and I make sure that I soothe you. What do you need? And I just ask the pertinent questions.
You do.
Yeah.
I can truly say that.
Yeah.
You do that.
Conversation is always good.
It is. Always have been. For how many years?
Whoa.
A long time. A long time. So would you say that men cater to a woman's desires and her needs, or would you say, well, I guess every man different? That's not really a fair question.
Not necessarily.
I mean, every man is different. So how?
Yeah, so it got to be a fair question because every man is different.
Yeah. So, but how could I ask you that? Because you can only speak from your perspective.
I can speak in general because I have conversations with a lot of different brothers because a lot of times what a lot of women don't know, just like women sit up there and have group sections and talk about their personal lives and the things that they want and what they need, men, we do the same thing also.
Really?
Yeah, of course
what
we do.
What are you talking about?
We talk about everything. We talk about anywhere from our sexuality to actually our perspectives on what we're looking for in a woman.
When you say
what
your
we want to be.
I'm sorry, excuse me. When you say your sexuality, men talk about who they're attracted to in terms of a man or a woman?
Well, we talk about who we're attracted to in the pretense of a woman.
Oh,
I don't get into conversations with men.
I didn't think so. But that's what...
and who they're attracted to as far as living, saying with other men. But
right.
To each his own. I don't have no problem with no one's sexuality and any other type of stuff. But I'm hitting on the sexuality knows
of a woman.
Yeah, dealing with a woman. But not only that, from a man's perspective. Because our body chemistry changes also. Our hormonal time clock catches up with us also. So it's the thing to where it's, knowledge is king. So if you have brothers that are experiencing different aspects or episodes in their life to where they're going through the change in their life and stuff like that, they would want to know. They shouldn't be scared. But we have these things as African American men, like we don't like going to the doctor and checking out those. So sometimes it's a bigger brother, uncle, or even a close friend that you can confide in with what's happening and what's going on with you, and then just go from there.
But you can't confide in your woman?
Yeah, you have that also too.
Okay.
You have that also too. But a lot of times it's more of a thing to where you're dealing with brother to brothers in situations
having
like
something
that.
in common.
Yeah.
I can understand
Well,
that.
I don't know if it's so much in common, but it's the thing to
I mean, just I mean, well, it's common for men to be afraid of that, right?
Yeah.
So,
To,
yeah.
you know, saying
Okay.
to, you know, saying to an extent, because you know, saying sometimes it's laughed about, it's laughed at, you know, saying and it's laughed about in certain settings, and then sometimes it can be a serious conversation.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I remember when I was talking to a group of brothers, and we was all hanging out and stuff like that. It had to be about 8 or 9 of us, and we were down in the Georgia, Atlanta, you know, at the time, and uh, I was like in my later 30, 38, reaching almost 40, and we were talking about well, lack of better words, we was talking about the stamina aspect of dealing with men, because you know they said every woman reached their peak at a certain age, and every man reached their peak at a certain age. So we were talking and just chopping it up about it and stuff like that. And some of the guys was confiding, you know, in each other just about their stamina and what was happening and what was going on with them, lack of or whatever. So my whole thing was, hey, you got to work out, take some vitamins.
So the
eat
older
right.
they got, the yeah.
Yeah, eat right. You can't be doing the whole bunch of hanging out and doing stuff. You got to take care of your body.
Absolutely. I agree. I'm trying to see how to bring it back to what we was talking about.
Yeah, we're talking, but we're still talking about the romance. You know what I'm saying, in life, and how we need to actually talk to our wives and stuff like that. Because, like, remember we were talking the other day, and we were talking about love, and I was like, if a person doesn't know what love is or never witnessed the aspect of love, how would they know how to be affectionate?
And I think, from my perspective, I didn't grow up with a lot of affection. I didn't grow up, you know, with mom saying, hey, have a good day at school, I love you, or hugs and kisses. But when I became an adult and I realized affection is needed when I became a mother, that was really my first love.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So in that moment, there was some unconditional love going on with that little girl, you know? So I think that was my first love. And then I think my father's love, which came later in life, was my second love. So he really set the tone. He set the bar high. He set the bar very high. My father would call every single day, and no matter where I was, even when I worked in other people's establishments, he would call and say, I want to speak to the most beautiful girl in the world. How do you think? But how do you think that went over with the people? I mean, he called La Pierce and said, I want to speak to the most beautiful girl in the world. He called, where else did I work at? This place on 6 Mile. I want to speak to the finest. I'm like, Daddy, they're teasing me in here. Like, stop doing that. And he would do it every single time. So he just set the standard high. It wasn't a time that, you know, even with a flat tire or pumping my gas, my dad would stop what he was doing to pump my gas. My dad would stop what he was doing to make sure I had everything I need, especially when I was working and behind the chair. So that's a whole nother subject. We can't stop. We can't go down that road tonight.
So about the romantic aspect of it, did you see the affection or the romance that existed that happened in between your mother and your father?
I never witnessed that.
Did you ever see your mother in any other relationship show any
romantic and affection?
Yeah, or even
never.
Or even in a relationship to where she displayed some type of love.
Probably the most display of love that I saw with a man and a woman had to be my cousins, and they were younger then, but I was young, you know, a child. But some of my cousins who I stayed the weekends with, like Elston and friends. Elston was married to his first wife.
Okay.
And I saw a lot of love,
Beautiful
a lot of
guy.
affection.
Real good food.
And my cousin, Elston Smith, the culinary clique. Don't play with that. What's that roast that we get from them? Is it the pot roast?
The pot roast.
That melt in your mouth? But everything does. I mean, amazing. Nice plug, right? But I saw affection with them. And then my cousin Karen, who is his sister, her and her husband. And I think he was like maybe in the Army Reserve or something. But I saw a lot of structure and love, and I saw that with them.
Yeah, and see, that's a beautiful thing to actually witness that, because I don't know if it was the thing to where as our parents growing up in what's the time frame in which they grow in. I don't know if it was taboo to show.
Perhaps it could
that type of harmony or those things that actually existed. You know what I'm saying, in between, husband, wife, and But
so would it be fair to say there was a generation that did not show affection, and it was our parents?
Sometimes we can say that because a lot of times I used to have this aspect to where we could have been that generation that was the lost generation.
Which generation?
The 60 babies or 70 babies that grew up.
Oh, well, I'm in the 70s and
60,
I
70
don't
babies.
claim a lost generation.
Well, I'm saying lost in the aspect of
the affection. Gotcha.
The elemental things that basically we should have got or we should have been taught.
Yeah, if we go down that road,
I
have a whole lot of
but
reasons why we didn't.
But we talking about romance and we talking about love and stuff like that. So the other day when we were talking about it and you was just like, oh, baby, do you think, that people don't know how to love and stuff like that? I was like, hey, if you wasn't taught.
Products of that.
We can be products of that. I said,
I agree.
If you wasn't taught how to love, how can you love?
Yeah.
If you wasn't taught affection, how can you be affectionate? If you weren't taught to be sensitive, how can you be sensitive towards certain emotions or certain things that's happening with your loved one?
You make a great point, but then there should come a time when you know that your behavior or you're not being sensitive or you're not being attentive to a woman or to a man. There should come a time where you say, hey, what can I do to be a better person? What can I do to be a better mate, a better, husband or wife, a better companion? What can I do myself to, then you talk about that pleasing the other person aspect, but if you're a person who say you got it all together and, a person got to take me the way I am, take it or leave it.
That's not good.
That's not good
always
at all.
Accept change. Change is always welcome.
Yeah. I think in this culture, with people, all of the bosses and that meant that boss mentality and that independent mentality. I think that we've lost some of that consideration for others. I really do.
Well, that's what we hear talking about this now. So we want to know is romance is still in everyone's lives. Love is still in the picture. Valentine's Day is supposed to actually segue all of these different emotions back into us and help renew or rekindle.
Right. What about chivalry? You were talking about something about chivalry.
Chivalry and man. So every man is supposed to practice chivalry. Chivalry is the art of actually making sure that we're taking care of our significant others, wives, girlfriends, beloved people, that's in our life, no matter what gender, it is. And making sure that basically they're taken care of. We should be attentive in certain areas to making sure that they are taken care of emotionally wise.
That's sweet.
At the same time,
That's
we
very
should
sweet.
still practice opening up doors, leading with the woman,
Yeah.
making sure she walks in the inside of streets,
Yes.
and at the same time,
That's
making
a
sure we
great
pull
point.
out our
Park right there.
making
Opening
sure-
doors.
making sure that we pull the chair out. And she
Or
sit
taking
down.
them to the door, especially if they have on heels. You don't want
Stop using text messages to
What do you
go
mean?
on dates. I'm only saying this because the way that technology is nowadays, we are so tech savvy with doing everything. So social media has bombarded us with just being courting or courtship wise. Back in the days when we grew up, we really had
over
to
people's
court.
house.
Yeah, we went over people's
We
house.
talked
knocked
on the
on doors.
phone.
We did all of those
Yeah,
things.
we
We
did.
set up real dates. Now, I'm at fault for dating. My dating game.
You have really, but I must say, you have really stepped up in this past year and a half with your dating game.
Change. With
Yeah.
age come wisdom.
Yes, I applaud you.
My sister once told me that basically, what she said? She was like, she was like, when you were 16, you did like boyish things. She said, so now, you're up in age. I was like, yeah, I'm up in age now. She said, so you can say you were a boy at 16, but now what she said? She said, now you're 37 years wiser.
Okay.
Some of that.
Wonderful.
So that's a good thing.
It is. Well, I know.
Chivalry isn't lost. It's just that basically we haven't practiced it in a long time. We need to get back to practicing, gentlemen.
Absolutely. Well, lead by example, Mr. Ashadi. They're gonna be watching you.
I try to.
Okay.
I try to.
I think that that brings me to another point. It's probably, some relationships got broken off yesterday. I'm sure today.
A week before.
What do you mean a week before? Oh, the men. From a man's perspective,
no,
a week
from
before.
a woman's perspective. It's just the people.
Why would she break it off a week before Valentine's Day?
Because I'm trying to figure out if really is this the gender-based thing we're dealing with, like Sweetie's Days, Valentine's Days, or whatever gift-giving day that we're supposed to actually cater to.
Yeah, I think
the needs of basically a woman or a man. I don't know.
So here's what my friends and I think. I'm gonna keep it so real right now.
Okay.
We think whenever, there's an opportunity to make your woman happy with a gift or a card, flowers, we love it all. So it's no price tag on it. There's no dollar amount. But I think when guys start comparing Sweetie's Day and Valentine's Day, that is so weak to me.
Why is it weak?
It's so weak because I think that I'm out here now. So I'm gonna have to go on and take this leap and keep it real because I know all my friends tuned in. I think when a guy start comparing himself in terms, because we've had this conversation at the salon a lot, but when guys start comparing, like, well, Sweetie's Day is for, and you know me, I celebrate Sweetie's Day and I do celebrate you, and it's not because that's what everyone does, but that's just what I do. But every day can be Sweetie's Day with me, you know what I mean? But I think when people start comparing Sweetie's Day to Valentine's Day, I think it's kind of lame. I think it's kind of lame because you should always want to shower your woman. You should always, so at any opportunity, even if it's a man-made holiday, even if it's, people just, that's just a man-made holiday. If everyone is celebrating it, and your wife got to go into a workplace, or she got to go into her business, or she have to go somewhere, and you don't acknowledge her, I think that that's a terrible thing. But I got a little off subject. Comparing the Sweetie's Day to the Valentine's Day, to me, it's just like a cop-out for men. Like, on Sweetie's Day, this the man holiday. What real man sitting up saying...
Well, I thought they was both for women, actually.
I know you did.
I didn't know.
You didn't know until when?
You told me. And
Did I tell you?
And then you sent me an arrangement. You know what I'm saying? Or something like that.
That was a couple years ago.
Yeah. And, you educated me about it, which was a good thing. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, it's a lot of things that I'm not educated about as far as dealing with,
holidays.
Well, Americanized holidays and traditions and stuff like that. And the mythologies or whatever behind it and stuff like that. I've read about them extensively and stuff like that, but we're not going to dive off into that.
And I think Sweetie's Day is something that, is it just kind of Midwest, or it's a certain region?
Midwest,
I don't really know.
Because in Louisiana, they never
didn't know,
it.
right?
Yeah.
They were like, what is Sweetie's Day?
They never heard about it whatsoever. But I don't think that Valentine's Day is celebrated, you know what I'm saying, in a lot of different states. I just think it's just different territorial, you know what I'm saying, states or whatever that celebrate just different things and stuff like that.
Okay.
But, I mean, I don't know.
Yeah. From my perspective, and I think I speak for all the women of the world, I think it's very important to, as I stated in the beginning, to be in tune with your woman. I think that we've gotten so far away from men pursuing women, the pursuit. men dating women, because everything is so easy for them now, and everything is so instantaneous, and they can get things so quick. I think that
You think that? You
I
think
do.
it's easy for men?
I think it's very easy for men.
Why do you think that it's easy for men?
I think women, sometimes we don't really know our worth like we should. That's why I'm constantly reminding our daughters of their worth, our granddaughters of their worth, their value. They've been degraded and devalued, so that I think through, and you touched on it earlier when you talked about social media, and I have nothing against social media. I love
different platforms.
Yeah, I think it's a huge thing. My friend Bob Celestin, Tier's attorney, told me years ago, about 15 years ago, he wanted me to read a book, and it was about viral, everything going viral. And it was a long tale or a long something. I read that book. Well, I didn't read all of it, but I kind of scanned through the book, and everything that book said really just came to pass when it comes to social media. My friend Bob Celestin, great man, intelligent music in New York, just a great guy, great friend we've become. But
another plug in right there.
Gave him a plug right there. That's my guy.
Wow.
That he believed in Tier. That is my guy. But I think, as I stated, just from a woman's perspective, there's some key elements and there's some traditions that should always remain. And I think that in this generation, I'm not sure what happened, because the girls are pursuing the boys and the women are pursuing the men. And I think traditionally that's something that a woman should practice. Let a man chase you.
We have to get back to the etiquettes aspect in the charm school of things. I teach our children basically that, hey, if a man can't bring you the same accomplishments or show you the same respect that I'm bringing to the table, then that's not the man for you. So we always have to set the higher standard, especially when we're dealing with younger ladies and stuff like that. Men, we should always take the time out and school our sons, because it's important, and we are role models for our son. So we should always show the harmony, the love and affection towards our wives, towards our significant,
especially in front of them.
Especially in front of them, constantly, all the time, because we are the first teachers of them. So it's a good thing. But I want to revisit one thing that we were just talking about before we kind of end this podcast for the day. But we'll be back with y'all too real soon. So
what do y'all think about that? Let's ask them. What do they think about us doing this once a month? Just a conversation.
It's gonna be good.
What y'all think?
We're gonna get back to it.
Let us know what y'all think. We taking a poll. Let us know.
So we were talking about the aspects of dealing with Sweeties Day
and Valentine's Day.
And Valentine's Day. Because you were saying it's kind of an off-centered thing for a man to actually put more off into the significance of Sweeties Day.
Kind of lame.
Oh. But at the same time, it's this. Every woman wants to know basically how she can be a better woman and cater to her husband or
most
the significant.
Women.
It should be every woman.
Yeah, but most.
Yeah, most, every, But I'm thinking that it should be every.
It should be, I agree.
Yeah, because it's the communication barriers that is lacking sometimes. So even with dealing with chivalry, and chivalry speaks about etiquettes. And etiquettes is a broad aspect. It's not just denoted to just men, also women. So in order for a woman to actually make sure that her male figure, her male is taken care of, she should want to have an open line of communication. She should want to know basically what's on his mind, what he's thinking about. She should want to give him a massage. She should want to cook for him. She should want to do the things that she knows that's going to cater to him and make him the best man that he can possibly be for her. So when we're looking at the pros and cons of Sweetie's Day, Valentine's Day, I don't think that they're equal or they should be equated the same because men are men. That's what we are, and stuff like that. But it's nothing wrong with also a man being catered to.
Totally.
Okay.
How are you in that department? Do you get catered to?
Of course. I mean, I demand that. Without a
You
doubt.
demand it.
Of course
Do you
I
have
do.
to demand it though?
No, I'm saying I'm demanding of that, just from my perspective, of who I am, how I hold my standards out to be as a person, as a man. I'm saying demanding in the sense to whereas you're demanding.
You think so?
Of course, we all are.
How so? How am I? Let's make this personal. We had enough
course.
general. Let's make it
I'm making
personal.
it personal.
They
When
want
I
to know
say-
personal.
When I'm saying that she's demanding,
How am I demanding?
it's value.
Take your
And
time.
I don't take my time. I can come off top. That's what I do. I do this real good. I
Come
off top.
on, let's see. Let's
So-
go.
When I'm saying demanding, everyone has demands because no one wants to devalue
Yeah.
themselves when they're coming into a relationship, marriage, even casual dating. Why? Because then we can tend to basically lose the value of who we are. You know what I'm saying, within that. So we place demands on that. It's like you were sitting up telling me, baby, I'm going to teach you how to date. Because why? Hey, my whole dating game was trash. I don't have a follow-up game or any of that type of stuff. I've never had it. Why?
But it's
Hey.
easy.
Yeah, I mean,
It's easy. I
it's
mean,
easy
the
once you
man.
sit down
Because
and put
here's
your
the
mind to
thing.
it.
Because here's the thing. The man should lead. The man should know the restaurants to call. He should know the restaurants that his woman or his wife loves. He should
Chivalry.
know what kind of
Okay.
flowers. What's her favorite flower? What's my favorite flower?
All of them.
No, they're not. For one, they're not all my favorite.
Baby.
What's my favorite flower?
The other day I walked in the house and I seen roses.
And you swore somebody bought them.
I was like, where these roses come from?
Kroger, everyone. They came from Kroger. Everyone that knows me know I love flowers. But back to my favorite flower. So that you know, and you never have to guess again, they are gladiolas and birds of paradise.
Birds of paradise and gladiolas.
Those are my favorite flowers. Now you can
I think I'll try to keep this to memory.
Now you can couple the birds of paradise with roses. I think roses are beautiful.
But I've never been a flower man. I've always
Wonderful.
been a jewelry or
I get it. I know.
different type of gifts. Why? I only say that because I think flowers are basically common.
Okay.
That's what I think.
And they're
flowers,
simple. And it's simple.
And flowers wither away.
And sometimes
And I
some
get
of the
that.
simple things mean
And I
the
believe in
most.
simplicity.
Because
simplicity, I believe in simplicity. That's the best. Go ahead.
yeah, because whether or not they wither away or not, if your mate like them, whether you're a flower man or not, you need to have the florist on speed dial in your phone.
Yeah, that is true. That's
Yeah, I
totally
mean,
true.
I think I've given you florist numbers. I think I gave you Kelly's number, who happens to be the best florist in Metropolitan Detroit. Another plug. That's my girl Kelly, and she's amazing. Gave you her number about a year ago. Okay, you got to get to know Kelly.
Got you.
Okay, get to know her. She can help you out a lot. She can help you out a lot. Remember, she did the arrangement for
Funerals.
yeah, she did funerals too, but also for Eddie, she did an arrangement one time. We sent an arrangement
I
there.
remember that.
Yeah, she did. She's
She's
out the
great.
box. She's sweet. She's
Great.
yeah,
She's great.
she is. So I think that this was good today.
It's always good.
It was good. This is a great conversation. I think we talked about romance and we didn't get too personal, but we have an entire year, 2021. We're going to share a lot. We're trying to see how we're going to structure this podcast, how we're going to roll it out. We want to roll it out. There's a lot we have to share. And I think we're going to have a long year, a long, great, successful, powerful year of love, a lifetime of love.
Bringing topics to the table.
What kind of topics we gonna talk about?
We're going to talk about everything. Everything except politics and religion.
Baby, we are going to talk about politics and religion. You must know I'm going to talk about religion when I belong to the best church in the world, Greater Emmanuel Institutional Church of God in Christ, where my pastor is the Bishop J. Drew Sheard, and my first lady is the evangelist, the Dr. Karen Clark Sheard. That's my church family, and we're going to get into that. We're going to have to.
I have no problem with that.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure.
I'm perfectly knowledgeable in all fields.
You know what I feel about my church, right?
It's a good thing.
Okay.
It's a beautiful thing.
Okay,
you know
I just wanted to.
I know what you feel about. I know what you feel about God.
Absolutely.
So that's my concerns.
Absolutely.
My concern is what you feel about God.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But that's it.
Well, it cannot be that's it, honey.
I mean,
my first, wait, back up.
Well, go ahead.
We had, and especially in talking about love and evolving and growing, a lot of who I am today really, my pastor and in the ministry really was a vehicle that God used to kind of catapult me into my destiny and into my, a level of success. So
that's a great thing.
Yeah, it is. He's really
well, God used different people as vehicles.
Absolutely.
And that's a beautiful thing.
Absolutely. Well, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate that. Remember, you've met my pet. Did you meet him at the benefit?
I didn't meet him.
You didn't.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta meet him.
Mm-hmm.
He's a cool guy.
I'm pretty sure.
He's a great guy.
Mm-hmm. I'm looking forward to it.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you very much. So yeah, we're gonna talk about a lot of stuff. We're still playing with the name. We have a dope name, Lovanomics, that my nephew Dollar Jones, Red Wire Entertainment, named. We also had the conversation.
Mm-hmm.
We also
put them both together. Lovanomics, the conversation.
And we also had Love Culture. We're playing with some names. If you have a name, send it to us. Let us put it on the table because we want to talk about family. We want to talk about finances. We want to talk about investments. We want to talk about love. We want to talk about relationships. We want to talk about fashion. We want to talk about a lot of stuff. Yeah. A lot of great things we want to talk about, and I believe we have a lot to share, and we look forward to hearing from each of you as well. We're going to do some fun stuff and have some pop-up special guests on here that you won't want to miss.
That's right.
And I think we're going to have a great year.
Me too. Looking forward to it.
You ready for this?
I'm always on time.
Well, no. The Lord is always on time. Jesus is on. Sir.
I'm a vehicle for that.
Okay. That's fair enough.
I'm a vehicle for it. Always on time.
Well, thank you.
I show up. That's what I do.
No, you show out.
That too.
That's what you like to do? Show
up and show out.
Oh, my goodness.
Nobody does it better.
Oh, my goodness. He needs his own show. Sorry. We're going to start off with his own show.